All right, so this subject matter is a little heavy. So if you don't want to listen to heavy stuff, I'm going to try and keep it light. I'm going to cut out pretty much everything that's really heavy, and I'm going to try and keep it as light as possible. But you might be infuriated. You might feel heavy infuriation. I don't know. Well, you guys, it is Mother's Day, but me and my mom aren't really on good terms, and we haven't been on good terms in a really long time. But before I get into all that, go ahead and click the subscribe button and click the notification bell and get notified when I post new videos, and feel good about yourself for doing so. I just getting a energy drink from the dollar store. That's how I woke up today. It's Mother's Day, and I went to the dollar store and got an energy drink. They're like $1.25. This one's called G Fuel. Never really had it before, but I do feel like a G now that I'm drinking it. So, energy drinks are interesting because they're kind of expensive now. Like Rockstars are kind of expensive, and I know I'm talking quick because it's probably the energy drink, but these are $1.25. They also have Primes, and they have like miniature versions of Rockstars too at the dollar store. So I think I'm addicted to energy drinks. Like I've been drinking them every day, and I know they're not good for you, which is like the crazy thing. Like if you put an energy drink in a barrel, it would probably dissolve, Roger Rabbit or a cell phone or whatever object you want to use. So, yeah, that's that's the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you right there. Anyways, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Like I was saying, I'm not gonna be spending this Mother's Day with my mom because we don't really have a relationship, and I've never really talked about it publicly, but I will today because it's appropriate. I haven't really spoken to my mom much over the last 30 some odd years, 20 years. She did reach out to me a couple months ago when she moved and bought a new house and asked me if I wanted some stuff because she still has some things of mine for whatever reason. And then also she needed my address because, my grandfather, her dad, died, and there was some paperwork. And then also apparently, there's some other paperwork too that needed to be given to me apparently. So, but, who knows? After this video, who knows what's going to happen. Anyways, so one of the reasons this is a good analogy for why we don't really talk anymore. And it's because when I was about 5 years old, oh God, I don't want to think about this. But want to talk about moms on Mother's Day. My biological mom and I don't talk because, well, it started when I was young. And no, it's not that. But there's been I don't know, a systemic sort of, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to make you try and do it yourself thing going on. And what I mean by that, and here's the analogy that I'm going to use. When I was 5, maybe 6 years old, she took me to school. And she said, okay, it's school time. Get out and go to school. Or maybe it was baseball practice. I don't know. It was such a long time ago. Anyways, me being young and dumb and naive said, oh, okay, well, if it's time to go to school, it's time to go to school. So I get out of the car, stupid me. I get out of the car, and the thing is that when she took me there, nobody was there. Like, there was no cars in the parking lot, right? So, but she told me there was people there, they were waiting for me, whatever. So I got out of the car, and then by the time I realized that nobody was there at the school, she was gone. And I'm a 5-year-old kid. I don't know what's going on. I know that I'm like now at this empty school, basically abandoned. And I have no way to get home. I'm just at this school as a young kid. Maybe I was expected, I don't know that I was expected to come back, honestly. I made it home. I don't know how. I don't remember. All I remember was waiting for my mom to show back up. I remember walking around. Nobody was there. I remember going out to the front of the school, sitting down, laying down, waiting for somebody to show up, and nobody did. And I don't remember anything else past that. Oh, fuck, dude. I don't know if anybody really knows that story except for me and, maybe my mom. Who knows? She might remember it. I don't know. But I definitely remember it. I don't remember how I got home. It's wild to think about now that it actually happened to me. But, and why, I don't know why. I remember one time I got home and my mom was crying and she said, Brayden, just go. And she basically told me to leave. So I don't know, dude. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what happened. I just know that I was abandoned at school and I would be abandoned. And it was like, I don't know if she was trying to get me unalived or kidnapped, on purpose, but she just didn't have the guts to do it herself, and she just thought that she would, place me in the situation and maybe it'll happen, because growing up, more situations like this would occur, not, being abandoned at a school, but more situations to where, I've been thrown into situations many times that are not safe for me, and that could have resulted in harm to me and death to me, and it's my fault. It's my fault. Why was I abandoned at a school? I don't know. I'm guessing it's my fault, though. Which is the crazy part, because I'm 5 years old. I'm 6 years old. I have other family. There's other family out there that would have taken care of me. If you can't be a parent, then don't be a parent. Somebody else will. But, just abandoning, children, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, who does that? So, this is why, pretty much, me and my mom. It's an analogy. There's more stuff. I haven't talked about this with anybody. I haven't talked really about any of it with anybody, and I probably should. But there's more stuff, and that's why. So I'm sitting here on Mother's Day. I'm drinking an energy drink, and I could reach out to my biological mom, dude, but why? Like, why? Sorry, I don't even know if I should be saying all this stuff. I'm not smiling because I'm happy. I'm smiling because I'm uncomfortable. I'm smiling because it's pretty sick, and it's actually, like, if you think about it, it's so sick that it's funny. Like, it really is. Like, there's a joke in there somewhere, and my brain just can't find it right now. But there's definitely a joke in there, and I know it's serious, and I know it's heavy, and I know you're supposed to feel a certain way, but I just feel like there's a joke in there, honestly. And that's why we really don't communicate, that much. So, yeah, enough with the heavy stuff for now. Like I said, I just made it light. I made that light. Why we don't talk very much, but it is kind of a heavy subject. It is a heavy subject, so. A few weeks ago, I bought 3 pounds of beef, and I made individual patties out of the beef, and then I stuck them in my freezer. Today I defrosted them for a couple hours, and I pulled a couple patties out, and then I put on some of this stuff to season it, and I threw it on my griddle. So, dude, I think this is going to turn out really good. I make pretty good cheeseburgers, so I'm excited. Time to flip them. Ooh, those are done. Yeah, buddy. Smash them a little bit. Ooh, those are looking good. Yeah, buddy. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this off. Then I also got some penny pasta cooking and some vegetables cooking too. Haven't been getting enough vegetables lately. So, nice little Mother's Day meal. For the bread, I'm going to be using Italian bread because I don't have any hamburger buns. So, we're just going to toss these up in here. Alright, the bread is done with the messy ketchup. And now we're going to get some red hot sauce and we're going to put it on the bread. Alright, you guys, the burgers are ready, the bread's ready, the veggies are almost ready, and the pasta's almost ready. So we're going to go ahead and start with the burgers because I don't want to wait anymore. That looks good. Dude, this thing is so huge. I don't even know if it can fit in my hand. All right, one more bite. Oh yeah, but I think this meat's a little bit too old. I mean, it's good, but I think the meat is just a little bit too old. I've had better. I think the meat's just, I don't want to say bad, but definitely towards the end of its freshness. I'm so glad I made these. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Alright, dudes, that's about it for today. I am so stuffed. I need to do something. Well, I think I'm going to fall into a food coma. I don't know. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to comment and let me know what food I should try next. And like this video and subscribe and share it to your friends and all that jazz. Otherwise, rock on, and we'll see you next time.